Sonia, welcome to Shift. Today, I wanted to talk to you about growing. How are you growing? And yes, we grow as human beings. If you watch a baby that's newborn baby, give them a year, they have grown. Give them two, they grow. I have 5 children, and that's oftentimes some of the first reactions someone will say to me. Oh my gosh, you're getting so big. Welcome to Shift. My name is Palmonia Gordon. I'm your host. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a mom. I have a background in corporate America. I now mentor and coach and train people who are stuck in where they truly desire to be as opposed to where they are. And just allowing them to see things in a different context that may help them to make better decisions, better choices. As I call it, it allows them to shift, and then they can order what works best for them. The program Shift is designed like the second hand. On the clock, you have the hour, the minute, and the second hand. But the second hand has to move 60 tiny moves, become 1 minute before, then it moves 60 times as a minute hand to become an hour. And that's what Shifts want you to do. Just give you small moves to keep you going. But grow, hashtag the acronym lady. I'm also known as the acronym lady. I like to take a word, turn it into an acronym, breaks it down, makes it better and easier for me to understand, which means I can use it fully, so to speak. So grow, I have it as to gain resistance to optimize you in the world. I'm not sure if you've ever heard the context, the comment where we over sterilize the baby. We make their environment so clean that when they go outside the home and they touch or come in contact with anything that has germs on it, they get sick right away. You've probably heard that, right? So this is why as children grow and they start to walk around and they touch stuff, they are getting germs and bacteria that is making them more resistant to what's. As a matter of fact, when we were growing up as kids, if our parents heard that somebody had like measles or chickenpox or whatever, do you know what they did? You were spending the night at that friend's house. Because the belief was if you are able to get it and then your body fights it off, it makes you stronger. It makes you more resistant to the possibility of getting that as the virus or epidemic or bug may go around. So grow is to gain resistance to optimize you in the world. I was reading recently. I want to encourage you to grow where you are planted. I know some of us have some stony ground. We have some situation that it's like, oh my God, Palmonia, are you kidding me? No, I'm not. I'm encouraging you to grow where you're planted, whatever soil you find yourself in right now. Grow in that soil. I recently read the story of someone who saw a plant that was growing on the sidewalk near an office, but it was in between the crack. It was wedged in there really tight. And it's like, whoa, nice plant. She noticed it. She admired it. And when she came back later, she also noticed something else. Just above the plant, there is actually an air conditioning unit that ever so often was putting down drops of water. So I share that story to say the plant was growing there, but the means to sustain growth was also there to help it to grow. The seed was able to get enough between the crack to start growing, but then the water, enough light, enough nourishment was there to promote that growth. And you have that same opportunity around you. Yes, it's a challenge to get up every day, and be on top of the world. We don't all get up every day and be on top of the world. As a matter of fact, today when I'm backing up the driveway, I said something about up the mountain, and my kids go, "We're not up the mountain." We're like, "Yeah, we are." When you see us coming up on one of the streets, that says we have the waterfall. The waterfall can only flow if it's at a high point. But you have been given the soil, the situation, the circumstances that you're in, because that is the only way the best you, the real you, the true you is able to grow and to come out, right? There is many of us have a saying which personally I don't like and I don't believe and I don't accept. My mentor does it, Lisa Nichols. She goes, "You know what? I'm not special." No, you're not special per se, but you are unique. God created each of us in a different sort of way. He put different gifts, different abilities in each of us. So, yes, you are special because there's no one else like you. But to have the success that you have, no, that's not special. It means if I can do it, you can do it too, because we all have that same ability. The challenge is where you find yourself growing, where you find yourself in that situation. You may be so frustrated, which I recently did a message on that. So go and watch that one where I broke down frustrate in an acronym. You may be so frustrated by where you are missing the benefit and the lesson of what you need to learn so you can shift and then order something else that is truly yours. There's a gentleman that boarded a ship from Europe somewhere, way back in the days. I would say probably back in the time of slavery, way back. Wasn't a slave, but he was very poor. Didn't have much, and he had just enough to pay his package, because then, you migrate, you come to America, you can get job and things can be better. And he had a little piece of bread and stuff that he had with him, and he had it wrapped up. And every evening he would go into his room and he'd eat his dry bread, drink some water. But he'd walk past the window and he'd see the grand ballroom decorated and all the people eating and having a ball. And on the last night, just before they dock, a gentleman came out and he goes, "Man, I wish I could have some of that." And the guy goes, "Excuse me?" He goes, "The meal that's in there is included with the cost of your ticket." And sometimes that is what we are doing. We are so focused on keeping the little that we have, or not being brave or bold to ask and to step outside the box. That's one thing. If you're with me, pal, you tell me something. If it's something that I can fix right then and there, I'm going to make the effort to correct it. I am going, like one of my son, I remember once, no, I think I had my big son. We had all the kids. And we ordered something at a drive-through. And when I got, it was a muffin. I could have thrown it, bust your head, and it bounced right back. That means it could have hit you, gave you a cocoa, and wouldn't have cracked. And I'm like, I was well on my way, more than half an hour, 45 minutes into my journey. I'm like, I am taking this back when I come home. And my kids don't like when I complain at the, restaurants, where it's like, "Mom, they can spit in our food." No. Anyway, came back, brought it back, said to the lady, "This is no good." She gave us fries. She gave us burger. She gave us drink. The only thing the lady didn't offer me was a job. And after my kids saw that, In future, they go, Mom, complain. Complain, mommy, complain. But I'm just saying that grow where you're planted, use the resources that you have around you, and don't be afraid to ask. If there is something there, ask. Am I entitled to that? It's either yes or no. If you're entitled to, great. The limited resource that you thought you had, it just got a whole lot more. If you're not entitled to it, so what? You continue with your limited resources. You still have something. But most importantly, I want you to keep shifting. I want you to keep taking those tiny moves. I want you to move to an hour, move to a day, move to a minute, move to an hour, move to a day. Keep shifting, keep ordering stuff. Take time and look at your life. Where am I today? Is this where I want to be? Am I comfortable being here? And then try to order something else. Start ordering something else. Start ordering the new you. The you that's being shifted and created. It's like watching a crab that crawls out of its shell slowly. Because eventually the shell that he was born with becomes so tiny, he has to shift out of it, but then he has to order. He has to search around, find a new, bigger shell so he can now get one that fits him. I'm Palmonia. I love you. Thank you for stopping by. Remember, grow where you're planted. Make the shift. Order what it is that you want and move your life into a new direction. I love you. See you next time. Have a good day.